What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today we are taking it to this wild Weavewalker build with our new aspect, giving us some invincibility on our Strand Warlock here, while creating an army of Threadlings to do your bidding, so you can sit with some invincibility in that endgame content, doing some nice insane strand synergy as well with this build, using both strand kinetic and heavies with that crafted dead messenger with demolitionist on it as our energy weapon. But we will get into the nuances of this build in a second here, going over our armor and our mods first. For our armor exotic on this build here, we're going to be using the Swarmers with Destroying Tangles, generates Threadlings for us, as well as those Threadlings unravel targets that they damage, allowing us to do some pretty crazy things inside of the PvE realm with that strand unraveling, dealing damage, as well as our armor mods here. We're going to have that double strand weapon surge, so all of our weapons inside of our kinetic as well as our heavy is going to be doing a little extra damage with recuperation to help with that end game and health pickup on those orbs of power. Now, for the rest of our armor, we're going to be using heavy ammo finder and scout to help out our teammates with harmonic siphon, so our weapons inside of our kinetic and heavy will help us to create some more orbs of power to proc that nice recuperation down here, as well as our strand weapon surge. Now we're going to be using Bolstering Detonation to get that class ability when dealing damage with our grenade, which is a Threadling, as well right here as Momentum Transfer double, so we can get that grenade back faster when causing damage with our melee. Since we got 3 melees, it is super nice for getting our Threadling grenade back a little bit faster. Now we're going to be using Harmonic Reserves, as well as Arc Resistance and Concussive Dampener. You can switch these out kind of for whatever activity you are going into, but Harmonic Reserves right here helps with our LMG and our heavy. Like I said, doing that weapon damage, a little bit of extra right here, 17% on our strand weapons, with time dilation, making that overcharge of the armor last a little bit longer for our weapon surge, as well as double bomber, so when we do throw down our rift, we're also going to get a little bit of grenade energy back from these. Now for the weapons, kind of like I mentioned in the intro, we got Rufus's Fury here with Demo Paracausal Affinity, as well as Circular Logic with Envious Assassin and Hatchling, allowing us to create even more Threadlings, and right here giving us a Demolitionist on both this Dead Messenger here, which we can use to break shields, whatever it may be, add clear, giving us our grenade super fast, as well as Demolitionist on Rufus's Fury. So it's super nice for the spam of our grenade right here, using the Needle Storm in the super, as well as Healing Rift, Burst Glide, and our Arcane Needle. Now we are using that Threadling grenade, of course, so we can have our Swarmers proc and unravel those targets. Now on top of that, we're going to be using that new aspect, the Weavewalk, which makes us invincible. So while we are in air, we use that dodge, if you will, to go invincible, to gain a damage resistance from players and combatants, reactivate your dodge, or cast your rift to exit the weave. While you are in this weave, your melee energy is drained and you gather perched Threadlings over time. So this also helps with the Swarmers being on, because we're going to get a bunch of those Threadlings to perch on us while we are in our Weave Walk becoming invincible. Now we are going to be using a Weaver's Call, so when we throw down our rift, we're going to spawn even more more of those Threadlings as well and deploy any that we have perched. So all of those that we have perched because of Weavewalk, we're going to get even more when we throw this down, and the Swarmers make them even better with the Threadling grenades, like I said, having that crazy army of Threadlings behind you. Now for me, I'm using a Thread of Birth here, so Strand weapons have a chance to create those Threadlings as well, giving us that potential to unravel enemies even more. With Thread of Evolution, all of those Threadlings that we are creating travel farther and deal more damage, which is super nice for this build. And the Swarmers in general, like I said, Threadlings will literally be everywhere with this build, and then grenade generation from dealing damage with Thread of Generation just helps us to spam the Threadling grenade even more often. And last but certainly not least, right here on our artifact, we got a couple different things that we are using. Specifically right here, we have the Strand weapons to create tangles, which when we explode those, we get those Threadlings to proc because of these Swarmers. Now we are going to be using Overload Machine Gun for our heavy, as well as right here with Nanotech Tracers is also on our heavy, so that helps becoming overcharged when it is active. Now for me, I'm using Refreshing Pickups, so picking up those tangles grants us power to our least ability, so that is super nice for that grenade spam or throwing down your rift or using Weavewalker. We're also going to be using Communal Pickups when an ally destroys or picks up our tangle. We are going to get a nice cooldown for those and gain bonus damage to our weapons in our Rufus's Fury, as well as Circular Logic. And then, like all of my videos this season, basically gonna be using Elemental Munitions as well as Monochromatic Meister to help us do more damage with that Strand synergy in weapons and abilities, as well as creating that heavy or special ammo with destroying those tangles and getting final blows on combatants. So this build helps for survivability endgame. You can do some crazy things, raids, GMs. This thing survives both of those very easily. Just got to know when to pop that Weavewalker to stay alive. You have an army of Threadlings with you, so you can throw those out, staying alive with that, unraveling enemies, doing a little bit more damage. Plus we have the Strand boost in damage of our weapons, so you can melt bosses, champions, whatever it may be. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this Weavewalker build, one of the new aspects again from this season for our Strand Warlock. Super fun and definitely very powerful. So thank you guys again, truly appreciate the support. Y'all have been killing it. 5K past that on the channel here, so don't forget to join the Discord, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these builds here. Truly appreciate all y'all. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.